Hello students, again I welcome you all in this online video lecture of business communication. Today I am going to discuss the topic barriers to effective communication, importance of communication and how to overcome these barriers of communication. Okay, so I will sharing a presentation with you. I hope it is visible to all of you. Now the first question arises, students, what is barriers of communication? Every obstacle that stands between the sender and the receiver, the most important thing is the message. This message should be clear enough in order to avoid misunderstanding. Seek feedback to check that the message is clearly understood. So student, barriers is unplanned distortion during the communication resulting in the receiver obtaining a different message than that sent by the sender is referred to as barriers in communication. Sometimes it is also called as noise or distortion in communication. Listen student, the major effect of communication barrier is that they lead to information becoming distorted. The message will not received exactly as it was intended. The sender must follow up and seek feedback from the receiver to ensure the message is clearly understood. Failure to ensure that message was received as it was intended will lead to misunderstanding and conflict arise between the communicating parties. So it is essential to be aware of the barriers to effective communication and how to avoid them will help. The five main type of barriers to effective communication are physical barriers, semantic or language barrier, cross-cultural barriers, socio-psychological barrier, and the last one is organizational barriers. Student, there are many types of barriers in effective communication like time, language, noise, distraction, lack of interest, disability, distance. Okay, we will discuss all types of barrier one by one. First one is physical barrier. Physical barrier are often due to the nature of the environment. Thus, for example, the natural barrier which exists if the staff are located in different buildings or on different sites. Likewise, poor or outdated equipment, particularly the failure of management to introduce new technology, may also cause problems. Staff shortages are another factor which frequently causes communication difficulties for an organization. So, student, physical barriers are arise due to the nature of the environment. For example, poor lighting, any background noise, poor outdated equipment, any disturbance or interference that reduces the clarity and effectiveness of communication. Okay, noise is one of the barrier in this free environment. What is socio-psychological barrier? So, students, psychological barriers arise from motives, emotions, social values, and different perception. People have personal feelings, desire, fears, and hope, things that they like and things that they do not like. Personal attitudes, views, and opinions are the some kind of example of psychological barrier. Some of these are formed by family background and social environment. Some are formed by individual own intelligence, education, and personal experience. Uh, thought like feelings like I don't have confidence, I can't survive in this competitive market, and I can't crack interview as my vocabulary is poor. So this type of feeling create a psychological barriers in the communication process. So, students, psychological factors such as misperception, filtering, distrust, unhappy emotions, and people's state of mind can jeopardize the process of communication. So, psychological barrier are nothing but its own negative thought, difference in perception or attitude, emotions, premature evaluation, etc. are some example of psychological barrier. Social barriers, social factors such as age, gender, socioeconomic status, and marital status may act as a barrier to communication in certain situations. Cultural barriers. A student, the cross cultural barriers are also distorted, also hamper the effective listening. Different cultural background, the speaker accent, like the speaker accent and pronunciation of words are not familiar to the sometimes are not familiar to the receiver because of differences in cultural between you and the sender. Sometimes the subject may not be familiar to you because you cannot familiar with the particular culture, or you are not unaware of the lifestyle of a particular tradition, particular culture. So this type of barrier is called cultural barriers. Okay. Semantic or language barrier. When a message is sent by a sender to a receiver, it might be interpreted wrongly in communication process, causing misunderstanding between them. This can happen due to different situations that form the semantic. Uh, uh, Semantic relating to or arising from the different meaning of words or other symbol of the sender and the receiver, known as semantic barrier. It also arises due to language, education, culture, place of origin, or most likely their experience. So student, semantic or language barrier is one of the main barrier that distort the effective communication. This sometimes the same words and symbols carry different meaning to different people. Difficulties in communication arise when the sender and the receiver of the message use words or symbols in different senses. The meaning intended by the sender may be quite different from the meaning followed by the receiver. People interpret the message in terms of their own behavior and experiences and their own perception. So this type of barrier is called semantic or language barrier. Now move to our second slide. Example of semantic barriers are words with different meaning, faulty translation, unclarified assumption, denotation and connotation, technical jargons, bad expression. These are the example of semantic barriers. Organizational barriers. This type of barriers arise mainly in your workplace. Okay, unclear planning, structure, information overload, timing, technology, and status difference are the organizational factors that may act as barriers to communication. Organizational barriers refers to the hindrances in the flow of information in your workplace among the employees and the superior of the organization. It may cause a conflict arise between superior and subordinate relationship. Organizational barriers like rigid rules, rigid rules and policies of organization, complex organizational structure. This is the example of organizational barrier. Now, what is the importance of communication? So student, first point is providing data necessary for decision making. Communication facilitate planning by providing such information as is needed by planners. Communication facilitate decision making by providing the required information needed. The quality of decision made in an organization largely depends on the amount and quality of information available to the decision maker. Accurate decisions are possible only when information is effectively and efficiently communicate to management. Gains commitment of employees to organizational objective. This is the second point. Communication gains commitment of employees to organizational objective by communicating organizational objective to all level of management from top to lower management, and inspiring people to obtain their willingness and cooperation toward the achievement of organizational objective. And this objective can be fulfilled with the help of proper or effective communication. Classify tasks, responsibilities, and authority position. Communication facilitate organizing function of management by providing information and the duties, responsibilities, authority, professional relationship. Delegation and decentralization of authority is accomplished in an organization. So communication facilitate coordinating by providing proper upward and downward communication. So the next point is improve acceptance of organizational rules by subordinate. So listen student, communication improve acceptance of organizational rules by subordinates by communicating the framework of rules and procedure to all levels of management within which employees have to operate. So the communication help in improving relationship between superior and subordinates by removing misunderstanding, confliction, and providing clear and accurate information in time or in a proper way. Last, help the process of motivation and morale. Communication helps the process of motivation and morale building through sharing of information, consultation, and discussion. It helps in molding attitudes also. Uh, Sharing of information with employees help management to secure their willing cooperation. Discussion on matters of common concern between the manager and employees is a source of satisfaction for the employees, as it signifies recognition of their importance. So student, this is all about the importance of communication. Now move to our next slide. How to overcome these type of barriers of communication in our workplace, in an organization. So first point is clarify messages before communication. Listen students, the person sending the communication should be very clear in his mind about what he want to say. He and she should know the objective of his message and arrange his thought in a proper order. Okay, so clarify your message is the first step to overcome the barriers of communication. Now the second point is communicate according to the need of the receiver. The sender of the communication should prepare the structure of the message, not according to his own level or ability. Should keep in mind the level or the understand or the environment of the receiver. ओके हमें इस तरह से अपनी बात को कम्युनिकेट करना है ताकि वो बात जो हम कहना चाह रहे हैं वो रिसीवर समझ सके. हम अपने लेवल से चीज़ों को जज नहीं करते हैं. हम जिससे बात कर रहे हैं किस से बात कर रहे हैं. अब सपोज़ आप आपकी एक बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है. ओके, आप वहाँ के बॉस हो, तो अब आपको ये देखना है कि अब आपको अपने कलीग से कैसे अब आपको ये देखना है कि आपको अपने सबॉर्डिनेट से कैसे बात करना है. ठीक है, और आपको ये देखना होगा कि आपको अपने लेवल के जो दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट के लोग हैं जो आपके लेवल पे, उनसे कैसे बात करना होगा. तो ये जब हम बात करते हैं बेटा, तो हम रिसीवर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बात करते हैं कि उस तक ये बात समझ में आनी चाहिए. सपोज अभी सामने वाले को इंग्लिश नहीं आती, इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आती है, तो जब आप उससे इंग्लिश में बात करोगे तो उसे समझ में नहीं आएगा. Now the third point is be aware of language, tone and content of message. The sender should take care of the fact that the message should be clear and concise. The tone of the message should not be harsh. Okay. Also the content of the message should be brief, and excessive use of technical words should not be used in your messages. Sometime टेक्निकल वर्ड्स के मीनिंग सबको समझ में नहीं आते हैं, तो इस सब बातों का हमें ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि हम किससे बात कर रहे हैं, किस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं, हमारे मैसेज के कंटेंट क्या है, हमारी टोन क्या है. Now the next point is ensure proper feedback. The purpose of feedback is to find out whether the receiver has properly understood the meaning of the information received. In the face-to-face communication, the reaction on face of the receiver can be understood, but in case of written communication or some other way of communication, proper method of feedback should be adopted by the sender. Now the second last point is be a good listener. Listen student, it is essentials of communication that both the sender and the receiver should be a good listener. Both should listen to each other points of view, which with attention, patience and positive attitude. Follow up communication. In order to make communication effective, the management should regularly try to know the weakness of communication system. So student, at last, as you can see, communication is very crucial in an organization. Poor communication lead to bad decision making and create misunderstanding between the employees, to employees, and between the subordinate and superior. Good communicator must be aware of barriers and work to overcome them to ensure a clear and concise delivery of messages. So okay student, so student, first of all we will discuss meaning and definition. After that, uses of what is the uses of effective communication, and in last, the 7 C's of effective communication. Now, meaning of effective communication. Effective communication is a two-way process, sending the right message to the right person. It is important to know that the psychology of the people who are interacting with, for communication to be effective. For communication to be effective, it is necessary to know the circumstances of the counter entity. Effective communication includes all the aspects of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic language to appeal the listener. Definition: effective communication is the communication which produces intended or desired result. Student, in simple language, we can say that effective communication serve as the foundation of a business, serve as a foundation of every business concern. Effective communication is a communication between two or more persons with the purpose of receiving and understanding the message successfully. Okay, it is the process of information sharing between team members in a way that keeps in mind what you want to say, what you actually say, and what your audience interpret. Okay, what are the uses of effective communication? So student, effective communication helps to understand a person or situation in a better way. It enables us to solve the differences, build trust and respect in the organization. Sometimes our message is misunderstood, or we misunderstand the received message. Effective communication helps us to resolve problems with both point of view. Effective communication helps us to connect well with kids, spouse, boss, colleagues, etc. It helps us in decision making also. This is all about the uses of effective communication. Now move to our next slide. Principle of effective communication. When we talk about effective communication, one thing that come in mind, what are the basic principle of effective communication? These principles tell us how your message becomes effective for your target group. These principles commonly known as 7 Cs of effective communication. So student, to make sure you communicate in the most effective manner, you need to know what are the 7 principles of communication. Here is a list of 7 Cs of communication. First one is completeness, second conciseness, third consideration, fourth clarity, fifth concreteness, sixth is courtesy, and the last one is correctness. Now the first one is completeness. The information conveyed in the message should be complete for the communication to be effective. The sender must take into consideration the receiver's mind set and convey the message accordingly. Complete communication enhances the reputation of the organization. Complete information always gives additional information wherever required. It leaves no question in the mind of the receiver. Complete information helps in better decision making as it serves all the desired and crucial information. Complete information persuades the audience. So, a student, never leave your necessary information incomplete. Okay, each message must have a logical conclusion. In short, completeness brings the desired response. uh, I will explain this with the help of example. Listen carefully. Suppose you are working with MNCs, you are working with a multinational company who is engaging with mobile phone and laptop. Now, let's say one of your major customer want some technical information regarding an laptop. In this case, you have to provide him complete information in a short span of time. In this way, you can maintain a good relation with your client. Okay, uh, otherwise he may switch to he may switch to one another company. Okay, so always try to give the complete information to your customer, to your client. Now the second one is conciseness. Conciseness means communicating what you want to convey in least possible words. Conciseness is a necessity for effective communication. Concise communication provides short and essential message in limited words. Concise message is more appealing and comprehensive to the audience. Concise messages are non-repetitive in nature. So, student, here concise means avoiding lengthy messages, lengthy sentences, using brief and to the point sentences, including relevant material that makes your message concise. Concise message save time of both the sender and the receiver. Conciseness means as you know that all businessmen have very short time. So concise message save the time and expenses for both the parties. Avoid such as avoid wordy expression. Example, like instead of using at this time, you can just use only a concise word now. ओके, एट दिस टाइम की जगह आप नाउ का वर्ड यूज़ कर सकते हो. इसी तरह से ऐसे बहुत सारे सेंटेंसेस होते हैं जहाँ पे आप कंसाइज वर्ड का यूज़ करके उसे आप easy बना सकते हो. Okay, always try to provide only relevant information to the receiver of the message. Avoid a long introduction, unnecessary explanation, and also try to avoid unnecessary repetition. Now the third point is consideration. Effective communication must take audience into consideration by knowing the viewpoint, background, mindset, educational level, etc. Consideration implies stepping into the shoes of others. Consideration ensures that the self-respect of the audience is maintained and their emotions are not harmed. Consider the needs and requirement of the audience to achieve the effective communication. Here, student, the sender must take into consideration the receiver opinion, receiver mindset, knowledge, background, etc. Effective communication must take the audience into consideration. Ensure that the self respect of the audience is maintained and their emotions are not at harm. It is very important in effective communication. While writing a message, you should always keep in mind your target group. Show audience benefit or interest of the receiver. Emphasize positive and pleasant fact. Focus on you instead of I or we. This is all about the consideration. Now move to our next slide, that is called a clarity. Clarity implies emphasizing on a specific goal or objective at a time rather than trying to move away from track. Clarity helps to understand the message easily. Complete clarity of thoughts and ideas enhances the meaning of message. Clarity comes with the use of exact, appropriate and concrete words. So student, here clarity means the clear message. Make a use of exact and appropriate words. Use of simple language and easy sentence. When there is clarity in your presentation, clarity in presenting your ideas or fact or information, it is easy for the receiver to decode or understand the meaning which is conveyed by the sender. Okay, student. So, clarity in effective communication, uh, uh, the message should be very much clear so that receiver can understand it easily. You should try to use familiar or easy words to understand words so that your reader, your receiver will quickly understand it. You should always choose precise words. Now move to our next slide, that is called a concreteness. Concrete communication implies being particular and clear rather being fuzzy and general. Concrete communication shows good level of confidence. Concrete information helps to strengthen the reputation of the organization. Concrete information cannot be misinterpreted. So here concrete means being definite, specific, vivid rather than vague. Fact and figures being presented in the message should be specific and clearly mentioned. Okay, concreteness provide information, help to strengthen the reputation of the organization. Courtesy. Courtesy means being polite, kind, judicious, enthusiastic and convincing. Courtesy is an important element of effective communication. Courtesy reflects the nature and the character of the sender of the message. It is same as give respect, then expect the same. Courtesy is not at all biased in nature. Student, courteous communication generate a special tone in their writing and speaking. Courtesy in message implies the message should show the sender's expression. It makes use of terms showing respect for the receiver, using always polite words. Generating a courteous tone, be sincerely tactful, thoughtful, and appreciative. Use expression that show respect for the others, show respect for the receiver. Choose non-discriminatory expression. Okay, students. Now the last one is correctness. Correctness in the communication implies that the correct information is conveyed through the message. Correct communication boosts up the confidence level of the sender. Correct information has greater impact on the audience. Free from grammatical error and use of appropriate and correct language. Correct information includes the precision and accurateness of fact and figure used in the message. Correctness in communication implies that there is no grammatical error. Correct communication is error-free communication. Okay, if communication is correct, it boosts up the confidence level and has greater impact on the audience or receiver. The term correctness as applied to a business message also means use the right level of language. Check the accuracy of figures, facts, and words. Maintain acceptable writing mechanics. So, student, this is all about the principle of effective communication, or you can say that a 7 C's of effective communication. At last, we conclude that 7 C's of communication help to improve the professional communication skill and increase the chances that the message will understood in exactly the same way as it was intended. Student, effective communication comes with knowing yourself and knowing your surroundings. The aim of effective communication is giving, receiving, or exchanging of information, opinion, or ideas so that the message is completely understood by everybody involved. Okay, student, we will end our class here. Thank you.